In this video, I am going to talk some more about being low waste and zero waste. I've done one video about this before, talking about that I wanted to start reducing my waste, and I mentioned a couple of things in that video of how I was starting the journey to producing less waste. And I'm going to talk about 5 more ways that I have been doing that in this video. The first way that I'm going to talk about is switching your toothbrush to bamboo. This is a very popular zero waste swap that people talk about, and I didn't do it right away, even though I was kind of tempted to, but I didn't want to just throw away the plastic toothbrush that I had until I had sufficiently used it. And this past month, I've noticed that my plastic one was looking a little worse for wear, so I decided it was time to finally make the switch when I purchased a new toothbrush, and I got this bamboo one. Bamboo is a lot more sustainable of a material than plastic because it actually can biodegrade, unlike plastic, which all plastic that has ever been created still exists in the world today, which is really a frightening thought. And this just works the same as my toothbrush that I had before. It's totally fine. I think next up for me will be when I run out of toothpaste, I would like to try some toothpaste bites, toothpaste tabs, rather than buying toothpaste in the plastic tube. The next thing I want to talk about is makeup remover. For the past many years, my preferred way to remove my makeup was to use some sort of micellar water. I would put it on a cotton pad like this, and I would use 2, sometimes 3 cotton pads soaked with the cleansing water to take off my makeup every day. That is really wasteful because you're just using these for a minute and then just immediately throwing them away. And what I realized, this is actually my last cotton pad, so I've used them all up and I won't be repurchasing them. I have this micellar cleansing water that obviously is towards the top since I had it as a backup. So I recently busted this open because even though it's a plastic bottle, I still want to use it up because I already own it. But I realized I could just take this and put it on a cloth, like a washcloth, and use that to take off my makeup. And that way I can avoid using those cotton rounds. Another thing I really like is this Glossy Milky Jelly Cleanser. This is amazing for removing makeup, and you don't even need the washcloth. I just pump this into my hands and spread it all over my face and just use my fingers. And I know this is a plastic bottle as well, so not ideal, but then you don't even have to use the washcloth and the bottle of makeup remover. You just have this one thing in your hands and water, and that's it. So those are my new ways that I take off my makeup. The next thing I'm going to talk about, I actually got this as a gift, and this is like #1 on everybody's zero waste swaps list. But I have to say, I'm not really sure why. This is a reusable straw, stainless steel. I got it as a gift, so may as well use it and avoid plastic straws, as everybody knows. Plastic straws are bad for the environment, but I just don't find myself using straws in general very much. I don't know if I would have purchased this for myself. I'm glad that I got it as a gift, but how often are people really using straws? Maybe it's for like the type of people who go to Starbucks every day and get a drink in a plastic cup and then they want to put a reusable straw in it. But then you're still creating a plastic cup every day. I'm not sure. I just figured I would just keep this in this little container in my purse, and if the time strikes where there's a plastic straw option, if I'm out and about, I can just have this with me. So I suppose there's no harm in keeping it in my purse, but this is one of the zero waste swaps that I think is something that you should actually take the time to think for 1 minute and realize do I really use plastic straws? How often do straws come into my life? And if you do use straws a lot, then obviously I think this would be a good choice. This next thing I'm going to talk about, I think that this is something not as commonly discussed as maybe a reusable straw or a bamboo toothbrush, and this is rechargeable batteries. I go through a fair amount of batteries. I have a light on my desk that I use that takes batteries, and also my remote is kind of awful and needs its batteries changed frequently. So I found myself throwing away batteries what seemed like pretty often, and I realized, why not just buy a pack of rechargeable batteries, and instead of throwing them away, you just recharge them and reuse them. And I really like this idea because rechargeable batteries aren't particularly expensive, and you can buy as many packs as you need and then never have to buy new batteries again because you'll always have these that you can recharge. I'm going to discuss my period, so if you don't want to hear about that, I left it towards the end of this video, so if you'd like to leave now, feel free. But something really popular to reduce waste if you have a period is to stop using tampons and pads because they're just so wasteful and you use a lot of them when you have your period. So some common swaps are to try period underwear or to try a cup. I have mine in this little bag that it comes with. You can try out one and see if it works for you, and if you don't like it, you can try out another. I do really like the economical factor that you just have to buy this and then it lasts you years and years and years rather than constantly having to go out and buy boxes of tampons only to use them all up pretty quickly and immediately throw them in the trash. I will say, using a cup, I have had the hardest time with it. It's just really difficult, and I've been using it now. I bought this like a year ago, and I've been trying it on and off, just trying to get it to work for me. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. I'm committed to still trying with it though, and maybe one day I'll figure out the secret. And the last thing I want to talk about in this video, I'm not sure if it totally has to do with zero waste, as far as like reducing the production of waste, but I do think that for sure it is more environmentally friendly. And that is, I've decided this year I'm not going to be purchasing, well, hopefully ever again. I'm not going to be purchasing any fast fashion. I want to try and only buy secondhand from thrift stores, or if it's something like particular that I'm looking for, like actually just a few days ago I did purchase some new clothing, not secondhand, but that was because it was socks and underwear, and you wouldn't want to purchase those secondhand, obviously. But I did purchase them from an environmentally friendly company, so I want to totally stop supporting any sort of fast fashion. So the only reason there will be a shirt from H&M in my closet is if I find it at a thrift store and I like it, and then I can give it a new home. So those are all of the things I wanted to talk about today in regards to zero waste and making some swaps. I think I might do another update to this video down the road if I think of some other things that I'd like to talk about. Hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.